You're listening to the Kings of the Ring Podcast Network.
Hello, this is Steve Tatai, creator of the Kings of the Ring. You've been listening to the show from the beginning, summer of 2018, or if you just discovered the show in the past few months. I want to thank you for listening to Fiction's #1 pro wrestling podcast, The Kings of the Ring. Now, this is something I'm excited to pull off because it addresses the biggest weakness of the audio drama format. How can you enjoy The Kings of the Ring if you can't hear? Hearing impaired people love wrestling too, just like anybody else. And it always bothered me that the show did nothing for them, really. And you also have people who, for whatever reason, just don't listen to podcasts. It's still a relatively new medium and isn't standard entertainment yet. It's just not part of their routine or standard procedure for them to be plugging their phone into their car or walking around with headphones. There are plenty of people who like the concept and idea, but they're just not podcast people, and that's fine. I have close friends that were like, hey, sounds great, Steve, but let me know when you do the book. So, with that being said, I am proud to announce the official novelization of The Kings of the Ring. That's right. Season 1 is being re-released in novel form, starting with Book 1, The Rise of Cain. Now let me tell you about this book. As useful as it would be to people to have a basic written dictation of the audio show or printing the show scripts out in written form and just binding them all together, the Kings of the Ring books are way more than that. This is a full-blown novel adaptation. The story is rounded out, completed, properly filled and fluffed. There were minor continuity corrections of Season 1 I had to make, which were implemented throughout this book. And most importantly, the Kings of the Ring story is now expanded. Many scenes are longer than they were in the show, or in a different order. There were scenes in the show that were trimmed or outright eliminated for time reasons, and now they're all back in all their glory for the book. And there are even full-blown deleted scenes that you never even heard in the show or only heard on Patreon.com. These are now exclusively in these books. It is the complete Season 1. For instance, you'll recall Charlie Gotch blowing off Thor Hansen in the first 4 episodes, and then that big shocker of when Thor showed up for the Empire's debut in Chicago, saving Dan Sanders. Now, as cinematic and shocking as that big reveal was, you, the fans, were denied the story of how that literally happened. In this book, you will see how Thor was recruited by Julian Cain and how that went down. In the show, we saw Nigel Davies and a surprise meeting with Julian Cain on Miami Beach. But in this book, you'll get to hear the phone call Jesse James made to Nigel that caused Nigel to make that bold move in the first place. You'll get an entire deleted scene with Miss Kitty in Tallahassee, Florida, with sleazy outlaw promoter Luther Warren, a character that wasn't even in the show. Plus, you'll see Donnie Gold's first day in the Empire in New York City, and seeing how things went sour with Julian Cain right off the bat. All this, plus other appendices like a map of the territories, Pro Wrestling Digest rankings, and so much more. I also think you'll find it a great reference book while listening to the show, especially as we move on to Season 2. Like Game of Thrones and other stories, Kings has a lot of long-term storytelling going on, with a lot of the fun of this saga is going back and revisiting scenes whose meanings change completely later on in the story. These books will make a great accessory or companion for the show moving forward. So Kings of the Ring Book 1, The Rise of Cain, is an absolutely packed 300 pages covering episodes 1 through 11, and it is available right now. Now, where can you get your hands on The Rise of Cain? To make this book as accessible as possible to the Kings of the Rings fans literally around the world, Kings of the Ring, The Rise of Cain, the 300-plus page spectacular, will be available exclusively on Amazon. That's right. No matter where you are in the world, visit your country's Amazon website or Amazon app, Amazon.com, Amazon.uk, whatever, and search Rise of Cain or Kings of the Ring, The Rise of Cain, and there it is. But all the benefits of Amazon, the quick shipping, for Amazon Prime members, you get the free shipping, and all the other gimmicks. I included some links in the show notes here, but I know Amazon has a different site for every country on Earth, so just do the search if you have to. But the publishers did a great job of designing and putting this together. It's a gorgeous, glossy, perfectly sized paperback, nice, comfortable size lettering for your eyes, and hopefully reads as smoothly for you as it does for me. So please check out Kings of the Ring, The Rise of Cain on Amazon today. And if you do, please leave a review. Even if you don't end up buying the book, leaving a review based on hearing the show can be just as useful. There will be people who find this book on Amazon who might not know the show very well, so your words will be a big help. But thanks very much for listening to the show and for your support of the Kings of the Ring. Stay safe wherever you are. Thanks very much.